When I go on tour, sometimes I get on the front seat and people take a picture because I like to play on all that. I don't believe in just like jamming for the sake of jamming. You still have to make a statement and commit to what you're doing. So just finding that sort of happy medium where you have your spot where you're doing your thing, but also you're learning as much as possible from everything that's out there. So like sometimes I'll have people be like, what position is, I'm like, I don't know, dude, I'm just playing the notes that are here that I need for this melody. You know what I'm saying? So. Hi everyone, this is Noé Socha, and this song is off of my latest record called Simple Blues Boy. The song is called Walking Stick Blues, and you guys are gonna laugh. It's everybody calls the cane walking stick, and that's wrong. Oh, I'm blind, by the way, in case you didn't notice.
was awesome.
Thank you.
Holy smokes. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Tired. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that was really something. I'm really excited to chat with you. I have so many questions, and we're gonna dig deep here.
If you've been playing guitar for years and you can feel yourself plateauing, but you can't quite name why, we've built something for you. It's called the Sonora Guitar Skills Assessment. It's totally free. It's a one-on-one with one of our Sonora coaches. And in about 50 minutes, we run you through an 18-point diagnostic of your playing. You walk away with a written report, the 2 to 3 things that are actually holding you back in your playing, and a 30-day practice plan, our gift to you. You can book yours at learnwithsonora.com/skills assessment, or you can scan this QR code or click the link in the description. This podcast is really a labor of love, and the function is really to share the incredible stories and inspiration to help you along your journey as a musician. If you want to help the show, one of the best ways that you can do it is to click the subscribe button below, leave us a comment, or leave us a like. That helps tell YouTube to spread this to more people like you. With that, let's get back into the show.
I would love to know more about your backstory. I think some of the folks who are watching this will be familiar with you, others will not. Can you tell us a little bit about where you come from and how you learned this crazy style?
So I'm from Italy originally. I grew up in Carpi near Modena. And I started with classical music. But, I was one of those, child prodigy wannabe, I guess. I don't know. I have perfect pitch. I was able to, recognize a plastic water bottle from another one. I had all these funny little things, that I was able to do, but I don't know. I think it was one of those things where, I wasn't really trying to become one of those. I wanted to enjoy life and not be the guy that's famous on TV at 5 years old. That's why I didn't really have my parents didn't really have those kind of connections. And, for me, music has always been fun. I've always had, a keyboard at home, and I was always trying to play with it and come up with sounds. Or I had a lot of musical boxes, especially the little ones that you twist with your hand. I always had music around me, and for me it was always fun. That's really the best way I could describe it. It was my safe place, And I'm blind, but I can see a little bit, So anytime there's a viral video that goes on the internet, there's people that are like, "Oh, he's playing. Why is he wearing glasses if he's blind?" I got that. I would say anytime there is a video that goes viral, which happens, maybe once a year, there is somebody that comes up to, and complains and says that I'm trying to get, likes and views and, whatever, because I'm not really blind. I'm just faking it.
Wow.
I should start doing that.
Yeah. Take off the glasses.
Yeah, no, more than that. I should just show myself doing things driving a car. Actually, I think there is pictures of me doing things like that. When I go on tour, sometimes I get on the front seat and people take a picture. Because, I like to play on all that because, I don't really take all these things too heavy-handed. I don't really care. For me, it's hey, it's comment. It's engagement. The views are going up. That's all I care about.
Just the numbers, baby.
People are talking about it. That's really all that matters, And I know that there's people that appreciate it. And what's great too is that people jump in and defend you, and then it's this is great.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and watch.
Yeah, you've built a community around you.
Yeah. But anyway, so I really started playing guitar when I was 12 years old. Before that I played cello for a year. I played a little piano. But I was, playing around. I never really committed. But when I was 10 years old, my school teacher actually showed me a Bob Dylan song, "Blowing in the Wind." And it was funny for me, what was cool about that was the fact that even though I didn't understand English at the time or really have a concept about anything of his message, I just could enjoy the fact that he always changed this phrasing and never cared,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I literally would say he never gave a shit. You know what I'm saying? That's I don't know if we need to be clean.
You can say that, yeah.
But I say it in the best way possible. If you look at his career and anything that he's done, like it, don't like it, he's always kind of changed and did what he wanted, you know. And that could be like the opposite the next day. You know that. I mean, like if you know any of his catalog, you know, like, you know, he went country, then he did gospel stuff, then he went like, you know, folky, and then he's like, screw that, let's go and play rock and roll, you know.
Right.
And I love that. You know, even though I didn't understand what he was talking about or anything like that, I was like, I just could feel the fact that he had this sort of freedom to just do whatever he wanted. So like, you know, for me, like, you know, Blowing in the Wind was I started with that kind of stuff, you know. I was playing a little classical too. So the first song I ever learned was like, you know, my little 12-year-old me playing a lot slower, of course. I think I was more like, you know, like all little breaks between the notes because you can't play, you know, you have to like remember where you're putting your fingers, you know.
Totally. Yeah.
Everybody's been there, right? So that was, you know, I started with basically mixing the two things. And then I got into the blues stuff. And for me, a lot of that was sort of the same feeling that I had when I listened to Bob Dylan or you know, Neil Young, to that matter. Like if you listen to Blind Lamar Jefferson or Lightning Hopkins or John Lee Hooker, you know, Robert Johnson, Lonnie Johnson, all these guys, like each one has its own voice, his own expression, and there is just like some sort of like freedom to that, because that was the beginning of that music, so you didn't really have the standardized form. And I mean, obviously if you heard the first song I played, like, you know, I'm kind of going all over the place, so like I take that sort of approach of like, hey, they're not playing the 12 bar, they're changing it according to what they're feeling in the moment. And I, you know, as I evolved as a player, as I started playing jazz and everything else, I kind of take that to everything, because I think it can apply to anything. I mean, if you listen to Django Reinhardt, he had that. Wes Montgomery, he had that. D'Angelo, he has that. I mean, if you've seen anything by him live, I mean, it's all that. Any sort of gospel music, you know, staple singers, when they were playing their gospel records, they had that. You know, it literally in any type of music, there is artists that do that, and they just like sort of play freely, still respecting the song and the music, because I mean, for me that's important too, especially when you're a side person. Like, you have to learn the song correctly. You can't just be, you know, messing around all the time.
Totally.
So just finding that sort of happy medium where you have your spot where you're doing your thing, but also you're learning as much as possible from everything that's out there, because, you know, I don't believe in just like jamming for the sake of jamming. You still have to make a statement and commit to what you're doing. And that's why I like Bob Dylan, all these blues guys, or Wes Montgomery, because yeah, there's a lot of improvisation, but it's not just messing around. Like, there is,
you're not noodling.
There is a complete commitment, 100% commitment. I mean, Charlie Parker, I mean, if you listen to like one of his runs, you're like, oh, that's Charlie Parker, you know, because he's fully committed to what he's playing. Miles Davis too, simpler, you know, but it's that thing. You're fully committed to your notes and what you're playing and what you're conveying. So that's who really I enjoy musically.
Additionally, we've been thinking about cool ways that we can add more value to our community here. And our nerdy team over here has come up with a really cool new software tool for you. Basically, it's a slow down and looping tool for all of the platforms that you learn guitar on. It lives in your browser on top of YouTube and Instagram, and it allows you to slow things down, loop different sections so you can really focus and learn things from all of these videos. It's a super cool tool. I use it every single day myself, and we want to give it to you as the viewer for free. So all you need to do is click the link below, register for that, install it on your computer, and that is our gift to you. In addition to that, we've created a totally free community where we're adding a bunch of bonuses and extras, things like tablatures from the episodes, behind the scenes content. Like I said, it's totally free. If that's interesting to you, click the link below in the description, and we'll see you over there. With that, let's get back into the show.
Did you study outside of the classical stuff? Did you study, or were you mostly just listening to things and emulating?
Oh, I was studying. Yeah, so I started with classical music, And I had some issues with, my teachers because like you can't be playing Jimi Hendrix, So like I did classical for maybe 4 years, so that's how I got the sort of right hand technique that I use. Yeah. But then I was like, I just kind of got away from that world because I didn't particularly enjoy it. There is so much, and this happens in the jazz world, unfortunately too. It happens in every type of music, but in classical music, I think it's more prevalent because you have so many things that are very specific. And I think as a blind person, you have to work so much harder to get anything because you have to memorize everything. I read Braille music.
Oh, wow.
But you have to memorize everything. And it's like you have so much disadvantage compared to anybody else that, any sort of orchestra gig or, what are you going to do? Like there's a guy I know back in Italy. His name is Paolo Garganese. And he's spectacular, but he plays lute pieces on a 10-string guitar. Like he does all that stuff. So like he figured out his own way to make classical music work for him. I wasn't trying to do that. Like that was like this is so much work. And I think what I'm good at is my creativity. So it's like I just didn't feel really drawn to that sort of environment. As much as I enjoy listening to classical music, and I think you can always learn from it, I just didn't feel like that was a path that would bring me anywhere.
What brought you into blues?
So my teacher showed me, like I can do that, but it's like I practiced that, but for me it was always about learning music, So like, obviously I'm pretty sure if you watch, I know my technique is kind of conventional and a mess. And if I had to tell somebody like, hey, how can I play like you? I'm like, I don't know. like, and I'm not saying that to sound arrogant, but it's like, I've had so many different teachers and school of thoughts. So like you have classical, where you kind of play like that. And then like I took some modern fingerstyle courses where your hand was more, like this, with the thumb not as sticking out. And then, but if you're playing blues, and I play with my just with my fingers, but I keep the nails just a little bit so I can do. Like you can kind of emulate the pick sound, and sometimes like I literally use the back of my thumb, to get that sort of sort of more acoustic-y.
Are you using your pinky as well?
What's that?
Are you using your pinky on your right hand?
Yeah, just for strumming. Pinky and thumb, because those have the longest nails.
Wow.
And it almost sounds like you're playing with a pick,
It does, yeah.
And even back of my thumbnail to do.
That's the back of your thumbnail.
Yes.
You're plugging it toward the.
Yeah. Towards me.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah.
That's
and sometimes
awesome.
I do the other way too, But it depends, if I have to play like really fast, It's kind of a mess,
It's super interesting though. So sometimes when you just did that strum thing, sometimes you were strumming with just your index finger, and the other times you were closing the hand and using all 4 fingers.
Yeah, because it depends on like what kind of sound you need to get, If you need to get more sort of hump on the bass, like I play pretty hard.
Yeah.
So like I kind of beat it up,
Yeah.
But if you're palm muting, just my index finger for that. Because I still have a little bit of nails, so like.
Yeah.
Like I get the attack that way, pushing the finger out.
Yeah.
But if I play it this way, you don't have the same attack. You have more,
Yeah, the sort of bassy thing. That's the back of the thumb.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it's funny because my left hand I don't know. People are like, how do you play the chords the way you do? I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of sort of figured it out.
Yeah.
But I took different lessons with different people. I kind of know how to play with a pick a little bit, but I never enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I never forget the day where I was like 14 years old. I almost never practiced with a pick, but it was like a day where I was like, I'm playing faster with a pick than with my fingers. For some reason, I didn't like that. So I just stopped. And I was like, I got to figure it out.
You wanted to play slower.
Yeah, because I want to be able to like switch, and I just like the sound better. You know, like I want to be able to. But even if we're playing jazz too, like it just depends on what you're doing, but I want to be able to just access everything.
Yeah.
Whatever is happening, like I don't need to put a pick down or have thumb picks. I always thought those things would be in my way, so I never liked them. I like to feel the contact with the strings. Anyway, back to I know we talked about nerdy guitar stuff.
This is great. Yes.
I studied jazz and different sorts of like modern sort of fingerstyle guitar playing techniques with different teachers. And Rico Zanella is someone that I worked with for 10 years, and he taught a lot of the theory that I know. Actually, not 10 years, because I went to Berkeley in 2010, so 7 years. I started in 2003. And then there was these two fingerstyle guys, Franco Morone and Walter Lupi, and they're both like
both
really,
Italian, both
Italian,
in Italy.
yeah.
Okay.
They're both really good exponent of this sort of modern, like, Tommy Emmanuel sort of style of playing. So I learned a bit from them too. I can't play all the crazy stuff that Tommy Emmanuel does. Like, I'd never figure out all the drumming on the guitar. All that stuff is amazing, but, it's like I always try to learn a bit from everything.
Yeah.
But I was playing a lot of blues gigs the whole time. So it's like, if I'm doing that, I need to be able to maintain that while playing everything else. So I had to figure out a way to make it all work. And, a lot of these guys, they only play one thing. And I didn't want to be that guy. I was playing Django Reinhardt stuff too, because my jazz teacher, Enrico Zanella, he was playing that. So I learned all these sort of, and I played just that way, like just with my fingers, just hitting really hard. This is an arch, semi-hollow, so it doesn't sound the same as an arch top, but you can imagine what that would sound like if you're playing Django Reinhardt stuff. And I can't really do the super fast runs that he does. Yeah. But I can fake it, So for me, it's always been like, hey, how much can I learn? And also, I don't want to go crazy. Yeah. And be like too specific into one thing, because I love so much different music. So that's really what it was, even though it was like not necessarily a conscious decision, but with my parents' support too, like they really helped finding different teachers and figuring out different things that would work for me.
What's that experience like for you?
I can't complain. I'm in New York doing this.
Yeah.
What I would like to do though is to get to a place where I can help more people that are coming up doing this, because I know, and the older I get, I realize like I was very fortunate, but also I had to like really, I had a lot of pressure to be very good. And I'm not trying to say like, I'm the best. I don't believe in those kind of things. Music is not competitive, but I always had to sort of play, better, quote unquote, than others to get the gig. Because I don't drive, I can't read charts. If you put a chart in front of me, I'm not gonna be able to use it. Braille music, as cool as it is to know it, has been basically not very useful. Because I can hear stuff anyway. So it's like, for me, it's a lot easier to just learn by listening. But hey, I would love to have a chart in front of me on stage if I have like 25 songs to learn for tomorrow, rather than just sitting there and just trying to memorize and everything. It's like that's a lot of pressure that I have to put on myself, and I need to make work if I want to keep the gig. So, and then there is the whole like, oh, how is he going to get around? Oh, I'm not going to hire him. That does happen. I've heard that a few times.
But I guess New York probably has this advantage because it's an accessible city.
Right. Yeah. There is improvements that need to be made, but yes, it definitely is.
How do you relate to those people in terms of like your own path and do you, is that?
Know what? It's interesting because I think that it's hard for me to relate to that because it was different times. You know, think of Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. I mean, Stevie Wonder was a child prodigy. You know, it's a different thing. When you're on whatever TV show he was when he was 10, you know, I didn't have that. So it's like I'm not going to have the same path. You know, you don't know these people personally, so you don't know how things worked out. I think Ray Charles had it a lot tougher from what I read and understand, and he had to really make it work.
Yeah.
And he did, and that's amazing. But it's a different time. You know, he was blind and black too, so I think that also didn't help at the time. You know, so I mean, now obviously there's still things, but you know, we don't need to go into all that. I don't think things have changed too much, but you know, I'm just saying. But it's just different. So for me, it wasn't like, oh, he's blind, I'm gonna make it happen, because it's different. I grew up in Italy. My parents were helpful, and I didn't have that sort of same background that, you know, somebody like him had. You know, so. You know, I know that towards the end of his life, he was figuring out technology a little bit, because actually I went to the Ray Charles Symposium at Berkeley and I played for it. So I got to, you know, meet his manager and, you know, some musicians that worked with him. And so, like, you heard some stories about him, you know, using Sibelius even before he passed in 2004. Or, like, you hear him famous stories of him, like, fixing an airplane. I'm like, I can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's amazing. I love that he did that. And I mean, the fact that he made it work at the time is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, who's the other one? Snooks, Eaglin. I don't really know much about him. I know he was a great performer, you know, and great guitar player and singer. But it's a different time. He was born in the 30s, you know, 1930s. Nowadays, like, you know, I guess the people I can relate to are like my, you know, Berkeley friends.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is, like, I think that the thing that I'm doing that a lot of people are not is the fact that I'm actually both a band leader and a side person. And I remember when Raul Midon, do you know him at all?
I don't know him.
He's a great guitarist and singer. Amazing. And he does, like, percussion and the guitar. He's incredible.
Wow.
He played with Shakira when he was 18, or I think that's what he said. He came to Berkeley and did a thing. But honestly, you know, I didn't enjoy it, because he basically said, like, yeah, you need to have help. Like, you can't do it on your own. Like, you need to have somebody to assist you at all times. And his wife was there, like, basically micromanaging him in some way. Wow. And it was a weird experience for me, because I was like, man, I looked up to him. I thought he was great. You know, when they showed him to us, it was like, man, the guy this is amazing, you know? But he didn't give me anything that I could use in my situation, you know? Because he didn't have that sort of, like, you know, I'm going to figure it out on my own. Like, she did a lot for him. And good for him that he had that. I mean, I have people helping me out too, a lot more than what I did before. So I'm not saying that we shouldn't. But as far as navigating the world and when you're not famous and doing it as a side person like everybody else would, I don't know if I've had any sort of inspiration because I don't think I knew anybody. There's this guy, Danny Keane, in Long Island. You know, he's doing okay, but I mean, he's got somebody taking him everywhere, and you know, I just don't. I mean, I'm doing different things, you know, and all these people are, you know, I'm not trying to diss on them. Like, everybody has a different experience, they have different backgrounds, so, like, we all live life differently. I have a friend who went to Berkeley with me, this guy Wayne, and he's a brilliant trumpet player, and I'm grateful for that. I'm not saying that I'm not grateful for the internet notoriety. It's great. I'm super grateful. But I don't think I've really used it to the best of my abilities, because I think you need a team for that to happen. I mean, literally, what I want to do is play and interact with people. Everything else is, you know, I don't know. Like, there's people that can do that better than me, way better, with way less effort. You know, look at all these guys. I mean, I don't see their camera angles, but I'm sure, you know, when you watch a Red Shaw video about gear, he's using all these things, and he's going through all this different, you know, digital and analog through the amp. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, there is no way I can do that effectively. Right. So, like, yeah, I can post a video filming on my phone with a stand, hoping that it, you know, that it's showing me in the picture, which is what I did for a long time. And it was fun. I thought that was a fun sort of pun concept. But just sitting there and doing that, that's a job.
It's a job in itself, yeah.
And also then you have to start worrying about your subscribers and your numbers. And I never really hit that in a way where it was going to be monetizable.
Yeah.
So I just never really, if something goes viral, that's great.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I can
You're not
make that
relying on it.
really something that's going to be fruitful for me
monetarily
and worthwhile when I'm working as much as I am.
Yep.
I'd rather focus on maybe finding, somebody that can really help me get on the road and perform for people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like the internet thing is great. And I actually think that could apply to your road performances. Like if I had a team, I would let's say if I'm performing, I would have, if people buy a ticket, they could get a copy of the show. If I was going to a new place, I would maybe learn a song from that place. Maybe I could do a little sort of meet and greet clinic, beforehand. Like I'd be open to do all that. I think that would be cool and could be impactful. I'd be more than willing to do all that stuff if somebody sort of organized it for me and made it happen.
Yeah.
But it's like as far as the internet thing, like I'd never really consider myself like an internet guy, and it's too stressful, man. During the pandemic, I was actually thinking about that. I was like, man, like you try to figure out how do you make it work. I mean, before the John Mayer thing happened, it's like, oh, you're paying $20 to be featured on this page, but which one is scam? And I was like, man, I feel like I'm 14 again, but except you're in the modern age and everybody that's like younger than you is doing it better than you. And again, it's not that I was feeling bad about myself because I knew I could play, but it's like I knew that I couldn't figure my way around all these complicated things. And, it's like if people don't know me, how can I sort of like be like, hey, look at me, like that doesn't work that way, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I'm saying? So
I totally know what you're saying.
There's this singer on Instagram, Ashley, is it Pisciotti, that she scats all these crazy jazz scat solos like Sonny Stitt and whoever, and she sings them, and she's a badass, and it's like, so I like a lot of times I see people like that, and it's it's cool. As much as I am not, the internet is not my primary form of just, Reddit, because it's like, it's so much work and it's so hard to figure out. Like you have to have good camera angles and everything. And it's like, man, I don't have the energy for that. I tried.
Yeah.
I'll get back into it, but it's just, it could never be my primary thing. I'm a performer, that's what I do. That's, I think that's what I've gotten, good at. So it's like that's what I want to do. I want to interact with people. I want to play. I want to be creative. And sometimes behind the camera, it's hard to get that sort of thing. But there was a year right before the pandemic where I decided to learn a song a day to celebrate people's birthdays, and I did like 372 songs. I didn't miss one day for the whole year.
Wow.
I did from like October 5th 2018 to October 4th, 2019. Each day I would learn a song. I mean, some of them I knew already, but like, I had to figure out a way to play those, with
different
guitar,
musicians.
harmonica. Just me.
And
I took the videos myself.
Uh-huh.
So some of them don't look very good. Most of them probably don't look very good. But I was like, hey, this is a funny, cool concept. I called it blind selfie. Actually, if you go on YouTube, that's still there.
I remember seeing it.
And so I did that for a whole year. And it was fun, but it's like, man, it's a lot of work. And, that was worth it for that time. I don't know if I would do that again. But I definitely want to start posting videos like that. How was
the pandemic for you as a creative
horrible
period?
I was by myself in Staten Island. If anybody lives in Staten Island, there's nothing. You need a car.
Yeah.
Most streets don't have a sidewalk. Yeah. So most of the time I spent at home just, for a while I couldn't even play because I was so like, the world was in such terrible shape, and I just, I didn't feel motivated. I was more like trying to like connect with people and feel just like closeness to people that were far. I had friends in Italy and here, and I was just like trying to do that because I was home alone. I just didn't feel like we could ever go back to any normalcy. So I didn't touch the instrument for a couple of weeks. I was just like, I'm not necessarily saying I was depressed, but I was just like having a hard time even relating to making music when all these people are dying and you're stuck at home, and I didn't really have anybody there, and I was just like, man, I don't know, what am I gonna do, And then I started again, especially when the they started, that was the George Floyd incident,
Yeah.
2020, right? So I started posting videos, sort of in support and learning, sort of like freedom songs, just to be supported. That gave me a little bit of purpose. And then I was doing gigs outside, and at the time you couldn't have amplifications outside, so I bought a 6-string banjo to compete with drums and vocals, and I was playing outside of bars, just that would hire me, but it was like I was just one of the first to go out because it was like, I need to do this. I can't just stay home,
Yeah.
And for me, it was hard because it's like, as a blind person, how do you connect with people, even if you need something? Like, how do you sort of manage to figure out, like, hey, I don't want to get too close to people because of myself and because of them, but also I need help, but also, like, how do I figure out a way to communicate? And like, you don't touch, but it's like, what do you do? It was really, really challenging. Actually, there was a piece that came out on CBS New York about that because, I don't think it was really talked about enough.
Yeah.
Because it's like, social distancing. I'm like, how's,
I need to be close.
how's that social? Like, it just felt like this was like the new, I understood. I'm not saying that that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously, life, we're saved, so I'm certainly not trying to debate that at all. I just think that, when you are any sort of minority, with an issue that most people don't have, it's like it doesn't really get talked about much. So that's why I was lucky to be able to get on CBS New York to talk about that, because I think it was important. Awareness needed to be raised for people like me and others that, I never suffered from, as I said, depression or anything like that. But imagine somebody who didn't have the sort of like motivation to live, or, with, any sort of mental health issue and a disability or something that requires for you to be around people. And how do you navigate that between wanting that, but also being scared of getting sick, which I was like, I'm not going to care because I need to function, but I can see if somebody's immunocompromised, like that's hard. I mean, it's still hard now because, COVID, there's still, COVID is still somewhat around, it's not like it's completely gone, even though we want to believe it is, it's still there. So it's like, it's still hard, but back then everybody was freaking out about everything. And it was just like, we got to sort of like stop and like breathe and sort of analyze each situation and figure out a solution that works with whoever is involved in that process. Because panicking and being all up in people's faces about, you can't be, you're too close. And that's like, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
But what do you want me to do? And I've been in certain situations where I was dropped off at a gig. And at the time I was taking Access a Ride all the time because I was like, I'm not going on the train. How am I going to figure out, like, I don't want to go out freaking out about, hey, I'm too close to this person. I don't know what's going on. Obviously you're wearing a mask, but it's like, you don't know. Like, I didn't want to have that anxiety. So I took a car, Access a Ride, which is paratransit service,
Cool.
For people that don't know, like, it takes you places. You can reserve it the day before. It doesn't work great, but I'm grateful it existed at the time. And I got to this gig. It was this hotel gig outside, and they left me in front of the stage, and I got there so early. The other band was still playing. And the manager came up to me, and I was trying to interact with somebody because I knew I was standing in between the stage and the tables, and nobody helped me. And I was like, I had my amp, I had my guitar, I had my mic stand, and I was just like, dude, like, I'm literally standing here. I have a mask on. These people are playing. I can't just like start waving my hands around like there's going to disrupt these people's performances. And actually one of the band members like said hi to me. I was like, yeah, hi, but I need to figure out, can I sit down somewhere? Can somebody help me? I don't know what to do. Like, because I know there's tables around me with people, and I'm just like, and then the manager came up to me and was like, hey, these people here are complaining that you're too close to them. Like, well, you know, come help me then. Like, but he came after 30 minutes of me just standing there holding the stuff. And normally, I'm pretty proactive. Like, if I know that I'm in the way, like, I'll try to find the closest wall and, try to flag somebody down if I need something. I can do that. Like, I'm not somebody, there's a lot of blind people that just kind of stand there and wait for somebody to do something for them. If I find myself in that situation, usually I try to really like figure out the best way to not be an inconvenience and bother people. But in that situation, like, what do?
Yeah.
Literally you're surrounded by customers that are sitting and they don't want to get close to you. That's actually why they complain. But management just didn't care.
Right.
And then they blamed them. And I was like, man, I'm blaming you people. Like, you guys were supposed to come help me when you saw me standing in front of the stage with all my stuff for 25 minutes. And I was like, sorry, that lady was a bitch. I'm like, dude, no, it was you. Like, yes, I get it.
It's
but
your
no, it's
responsibility,
not.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I was like, well, you should be sorry because you guys didn't do your job, not because of a person that was being maybe overreactive. But I get it. It's COVID. It was 2020. Like, it was hard for everybody,
Yeah.
So it was really hard, It really was. So when in like the end of 2021 things started to get better, or we had the illusion they started getting better because, of course I got Omicron, everybody got COVID again.
I'm curious, what players are inspiring you right now? What kind of music are you learning? Or listening to? I
love Charlie Hunter. I actually met him once.
Oh my gosh.
He's a wonderful
Yeah.
player. And as far as guitar stuff, I mentioned Eric Gales earlier. When I was growing up, I was really into Django and Wes Montgomery and Lonnie Johnson and all these blues guys. I think Bonamassa is great, of course. As far as music, it really depends. I mean, like, let's say tomorrow I have a church gig, so I have to learn all these church songs, and then like, I don't know. When I was doing like, I have a surf rock band, so I was learning all these like Dick Dale things. It changes, and there is stuff everywhere. I actually released something with Wolfpack earlier this year, so that was really
way.
cool. Yeah, and that was a pretty, meeting Jack and working with him was really, really cool.
What was that like?
It was awesome, man. He, my friend Jordan Rose, who I went to Berkeley with.
I know Jordan. Yeah. Drummer.
He was playing with Theo and them. So Jack was hanging out last fall in New York, and Jordan brought him to see me at Terra Blues, and then we met, and he was like, "Hey, I want to do a video." So me, him, and Devin Jesberger, keyboard player, got together and did that. So that was cool. I love the stuff they're doing too. It's Jacob Collier is doing some interesting things. Of course, he's such a kind of crazy musician, and it's interesting to see people doing their own things. Lately, last week I went to see Louis Cato, and his he released a record with the Stephen Colbert Band. So that was really cool. I think he's brilliant. That's somebody else that I love following on social media because every week he posts a cover where he's playing all the instruments. I mean, the guy's
brilliant.
God, yeah. I mean, he just plays bass, guitar, drums, sings. He does it all.
Yeah. Well, I would love to hear you play another piece.
Cool. I think I'm gonna play 3 if that's okay.
That's so great.
So the first one, it's a jazzy tune I wrote called "Romance Among Thieves." I was traveling back from Europe, and I thought I was being smart. I bought a flight with like 2 different companies because it was cheaper. And of course, I missed the connection, so I had to like spend $1,500 to get back from like London to Boston, where I was living at the time. So that's what happened. I wrote that on the plane, all in my head. The song you're about to hear, and so I'm not writing a song like that again, hopefully. But here goes "Romance Among Thieves." It's on my Lico Duo record, which came out in 2017. It's me and a bass player, Cliff Schmidt. I have 3 records out. That's one. I have a surf rock record, the New York Grammys, and then my Simple Blues Boy record that I mentioned. Lico is spelled Likho. That's funny. It's basically a cyclop because between me and him, we only have one good eye between the 2 of us because he's got a lazy eye and mine don't work too well. So that we kind of found a. But Lico is like a cyclopic, like sort of legendary creature. Yeah. So when he came up with it, he was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna tell people that's but now you guys know, so you have exclusive information here."
It's really good.
Oh, speaking of great players, I think Greg Koch. Is another great one.
Yeah, incredible teacher too.
Yeah,
great
I would
instructor.
I know he's got some interesting sort of fingerstyle technique.
He really does. Yeah.
It would be somebody else that would be fun to meet.
Mm.
Anyway, time to play some music.
Beautiful tune.
Thank you. Romance Among Thieves.
The articulation in the harmonica is pretty wild. Did you? How long have you been playing harmonica? Where'd you learn that?
Same as the guitar, and I'm mostly self-taught. But I was just like trying to figure out, hey, how can I play some of the same stuff that I play on guitar and harmonica? So I just kind of kept it up all together.
Are there people that you learned from on harmonica, or like people that you listen to and try to emulate?
No, that's what's interesting. Is like I don't know, like I haven't learned yet exactly how to do the overbend technique. So like I've always had to figure out a way to play the stuff that I play with some limitations on the notes that I have, because obviously with guitar I have a lot more vocabulary in some way, because I can play like diminished and stuff like that. It's harder for me to do on a harmonica because, I mean, someday I'll figure out this overblown thing, but I haven't really gotten there. I know, Jason Ricci is a great harmonica player. He's got all that going. Obviously, Howard Levy and Tooth and all these people are playing chromatic. But for me, it's always been like, hey, how can I? Because I don't sing, and the thing is, there's a lot of reasons for that. I think the main one is so many of these guitarists that sings that I'm like, I feel like, I don't want to be like you do you. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying I don't want to.
That's totally fair.
Like I'm not this thing, saying you shouldn't, people shouldn't do that. But it's like I've worked with some incredible singers, and especially in the blues world, there's a lot of questions like, yeah, you just sing, I'm like, yeah, I mean, but I feel like you need to be a singer, like, and I just don't know. Plus, you have to learn all these lyrics. Like, I already know a lot of songs. Like, I have to learn lyrics too now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And so, but it's always been like, hey, how can I figure out something, with the harmonica, because I'm not singing. So like, if I want to be a band leader, I gotta have something that's different. So like, that's how it all kind of came together. And I've always been somebody that's had to kind of sort of figure it out. Like, hey, there's no bass player. Oh, yeah, we don't really know the song. Okay, I'll come up with something, or I'll play the melody. And it's just like, I've always been that sort of player that's sort of in band situations try to like fill the gap, or even if I play by myself, it's like I gotta figure out all the parts, or as many of them as possible, so the song can sort of stay together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really what it's been. And it's like knowing all the notes, because I approach the harmonica the same way I approach the guitar. So for a long time I didn't know first position, second position, third position. Like, I understand it now because it makes sense, but it's like that's not the way I view the instrument. The way I view the instrument is like, you have a G harmonica, you have all the notes, and with the bends you can access other notes. So what can I use that on? So like, you can use it in G, you can use it in A minor, you can use it in E minor, depending what you're doing. You can use it in different key. You can use it in B minor if you're doing something that's more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it just depends on for me, it's always been like, what notes do I have available and what notes do I need? So like, sometimes I'll have people like be like, what position is, I'm like, I don't know, dude, I'm just playing the notes that are here that I need for this melody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's always been that sort of approach for me.
That's cool.
And so
the world needs more guitar player, kazoo players. I feel like
There you
that's
go.
that's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
unexplored category. Kazooists. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not too different.
Yeah.
Right? So, because we're here, I want to do something
Yeah.
that I've been working on, which is, and that would love to do more live, which is do something completely improvised.
Cool.
I do that sometimes when I do solo stuff, and I have a record coming out, which I'm still in the process of mixing. I haven't even named it yet, so just you guys stay tuned. But there is one song on there that's completely improvised, and I really enjoy doing that. And I would love to do that more. I think, Bobby McFerrin obviously is the master of that. And I think that I love, I studied with Mick Goodrick.
Yeah.
And so, like,
Wow.
all these guys, they do it in the sort of jazz world, which is awesome. I think it's wonderful. But I don't think it's been done that much in the sort of, like, without sort of genre boundary when it comes to guitar, or at least not that I know of. So it's something that I want to explore more. And, I really love, the way Bobby McFerrin does it, or, people like that, because I think it's such a sort of liberating, no genre way of I mean, people call it world music, but if you look at it, there is everything in there,
That's right.
And I think, and I love the way that, Mick and them did it too. I think that's awesome. And I learned a lot from that because, when I was studying with him, we would actually do some improv sessions where we just, but it's something that I want to do more, especially if I'm doing live performances. And so, considering this platform, I want to do one.
Great. Awesome.
So, like, what are we calling it? Well, maybe you can tell me later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
That was great. Do you have a name for it now?
No.
No.
Do you? Yeah. So, I would love to do more of that, especially live when you can also interact with the audience and, maybe get them to like sing or clap or do things like, I think that's a lot of fun. And it's something that I haven't done as much because I'm playing
Right.
all the time, which is great. I love it. But, I'm just saying I would love to do more of that.
Yeah. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
Great.
So this is a cover. It's cool to play covers or I play originals?
Totally cool to play a cover.
So this is off of my Rico duo record still, and it's our version of Spoonful. Do you have a tuner? Just kidding. They need to make a blind tuner.
Braille tuner.
Well, or something with vibration or something.
That's
hey,
true.
So if somebody's listening,
Yeah.
I need it. Well, I have perfect pitch, so it's I don't need it all the time.
You got a home field advantage.
But there is situations where it's like a loud bar, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be that. I hate being that guy, but I have to be that guy.
Someone's got to invent the blind tuner.
So somebody, please, if you're listening to this.
And then while you're at it, fix the New York subway station.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Make the tuner and fix the station. Yeah.
That's all I asked for.
That's all I asked for.
Yeah.
Can't be too hard. Well, that would be great though, because
Yeah.
I would definitely use it,
Yeah. Holy shit. That was so awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
The blues is still
Yeah.
something I love.
It's in there. Wow.
By the way, in case you haven't seen it, this is my signature guitar from Soulfire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool small company out of Jersey. And if you want to zoom on the
Yeah.
poker
It
chip
says,
here,
Noé so hot. Yeah.
just a pun on my last name.
It's really good. It's really good.
Thought it was funny. But what I like about it is the pickups are a bit darker than your usual. And the way I play so hard, I think it's nice to have some darker pickups. I also have the out of phase switch and cold tap.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
locking tuners, auto trimming, the Vibromate thing on the Bixby, all the
You got the gadgets
all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, the gadgets and
you
gazmos.
know. So I think it's I really like it, and I'm grateful for them. It's a cool thing to have your own signature,
Super cool.
and people can buy it if they want. They got
They
money.
can. Amazing. What a
that's
cool thing.
Soulfire Guitar Works. That's
Cool.
their.
That's the plug.
See, right now, if I had a tuner, damn it, I wouldn't have to be like Soulfire Guitar Works.
There you go. Maybe they need to make you a signature tuner.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Tadario, where are you?
I love it.
Anyway, is it time?
Yeah, should we do a little
Yes.
sound painting?
Sounds good. Speak to me.
Okay, so let me just check in the time. We got 5 minutes. We're totally fine. Let me just make
Yeah.
sure that we don't have a person coming in from outside. Make sure I'm not. Yep. We're good. Okay, so the first thing that came to mind is you're on a boat.
Okay.
You're in the middle of the ocean.
Okay.
The sun is rising. The ocean is it's serene. It is. There aren't waves. There are birds. You can taste the salt water in the air, and you're just sipping on a nice cup of coffee, and taking in the ocean.
I like that. The bird. The waves.
Wow. Beautiful.
See, I think that's fun. I
That
mean,
is
I
so- yeah.
would love to do that more.
I saw the whole scene. There was sojourning. There was contemplation. There was some intrigue.
Yeah, you need a little intrigue. It can't be boring.
Yeah,
You gotta have a little bit
What's
of
going to
drama in
happen? We
life,
don't. I
right?
mean, it's too serene almost. What might happen around the corner?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this was incredible and such a delight to have you on. And you're such an inspiration. And just really appreciate the energy you put into this and who you are. So thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. This was definitely an honor. I love Carter Vintage. I've been there twice.
Oh, right on. Hollowed ground.
Yeah, I was, but I didn't do any. I just came in on a day where I don't think any of you guys were there, so I just got to try some expensive guitars and leave them there. I think I tried like some sort of like Collins that was like $8,000. I was like,
That sounds about right.
that's cool.
Yeah. Did you go to the acoustic room?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
And I loved it. No, there's a lot of amazing stuff. But here's the thing, man. I mean, you guys are awesome and Norman's is awesome. But like for me as a player, like having a guitar that's cost that much money gives me anxiety.
It's so scary.
So it's like
so scary.
I want the like unknown guitar from like 1965 that nobody cares about for $700.
Right,
know?
Exactly. It's a beater,
I mean, actually,
but it sounds good.
I like nicer things too. It's not that I don't like them, but as far as me bringing them out,
totally.
it's like I played the Collins or whatever, Gibson or whatever. It's like, man, this is amazing, but it's like I'm scared.
It's gonna get nicked.
I'm scared.
Yeah, totally.
Like I don't want to be responsible. I know that they're meant to be played, but it's like,
yeah.
It's really a lot of responsibility to, and it's like I love that experience. I really do, and I played a lot of expensive guitars, and there is a difference. I'm not discouraging you guys from because I know there's a reason for these things to be there, and that's the reason why they got so amazing.
It's a piece of history too.
It is, and it's just like a piece of art too. I mean, if you like, I mean, I've tried a 58 Strat once, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
It feels different.
It's got
I've
a
had
thing.
52 Tele. Like I've done all that.
Yeah.
I love it. I just can't be the owner of that.
Totally.
I'll go play them.
Well, maybe one day we'll come back by the shop and.
If I'm in Nashville, definitely.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for having me. This has been so fun. Thanks for letting me do the improv thing. I've been wanting to do that so long.
Thanks for coming by.
In a public platform. So like, this is really, I'm really like honestly really grateful. And hey, thanks for the birthday present.
Yeah, of course. Happy birthday. And it's been a delight having you on the show. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.